Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday Chinese English Academy, your daily guide to Chinese language and culture. I'm Ming.
And I'm Emma. We are back.
Last episode, we rode a high-speed train for 29 minutes, quiet, slow, almost meditative. Today is the opposite. Today we are talking about morning in a Chinese city, which is the loudest, busiest, most packed with life part of the day.
Morning. Every country has morning.
Yes, but Chinese morning is different. A Chinese city does not wake up once. It wakes up multiple times.
What do you mean?
A Chinese 20-something who wakes up at 9 a.m. has no idea what was happening in his city at 5. Same city, 4 completely different mornings, 4 completely different groups of people. 5 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. 4 different worlds.
Whoa.
So today, I'm going to walk you through the same Chinese city 4 times.
5 a.m. The sky is still dark, but people are already up. These are Chinese retirees, 60 years and older. Their keyword is zao qi.
Zao qi.
Zao qi. Zao means early. Qi means to get up. So zao qi, to get up early. But for the older Chinese generation, zao qi is not a virtue. It is a biological clock. People over 70 in China, their bodies just naturally wake them up between 4:30 and 5:30. They don't choose to. They can't sleep past it.
Zao qi. What do they do at 5 a.m.?
First stop, the park. Walk into any park in any Chinese city, 5:30 in the morning, you'll see a group of grandparents, 60 to 80 years old, already standing there, and they are doing one thing. Tai Ji.
Tai ji.
Tai Ji. Tai means supreme. Ji means extreme. So Tai Ji, the supreme extreme. It's a slow, traditional Chinese martial art. But when you watch grandparents in the park doing Tai Ji, it doesn't look like martial arts at all. It looks like they are dancing, extremely slowly, with the air.
Tai ji. I have seen this on YouTube.
Here's the interesting thing about Tai Ji. Nobody organizes it. There's no instructor, no sign-up, no WeChat group. Same time every day, same tree, same group of grandparents shows up. One person starts, the second one shows up and joins behind. 10 people show up, they automatically arrange themselves into a square.
Like the plaza dance from EP005?
Exactly the same logic. Chinese seniors have a self-organizing ability that foreigners never see. And then there is something even wilder, the whip grandpa.
The whip what?
There's a Chinese folk exercise called shuai xiang bian, snapping the whip, a 5-meter-long leather whip. Grandpa stands in an open part of the park and snaps it. The sound carries across half the neighborhood. He snaps it again. You can hear it for hundreds of meters.
That's not noise pollution?
It is, but this is what Chinese seniors do for exercise. Nobody stops them. Young people who live near a park have been woken up at 5:30 by the crack, crack so many times, they just got used to it. 5 a.m. China belongs to Tai Ji, the whip, the morning runners, and the breakfast vendors who have already set up their stalls on the corner. The young people in this same city have no idea any of this is happening.
7 a.m. The sun is fully up. The second group of people starts to move. Workers begin waking up. But the people who got up at 5, they have already been alive for 2 hours. And then comes the most important thing about Chinese morning: breakfast. Here's a secret about Chinese breakfast. Out of all Chinese meals, breakfast has the biggest regional variation. Lunch and dinner, pretty similar across China. Breakfast, every city is different.
Different how?
Let me teach you the 3 classics. Doujiang, Youtiao, Baozi, the breakfast iron triangle of northern China.
Doujiang.
Doujiang. Dou means bean. Jiang means thick liquid. So doujiang, literally bean thick liquid. Soy milk. You grind soybeans, boil them, you get this milky drink served hot. Chinese people drink it every single morning.
Doujiang. And youtiao?
Youtiao. Yo means oil. Tiao means stick or strip. So youtiao, a stick fried in oil. It's a 30-centimeter long golden dough stick, crispy outside, soft inside. You eat it with the soy milk.
Sounds like churros.
Same shape, but not sweet. Chinese people eat the salty version.
Youtiao.
And baozi.
Baozi.
Baozi. Bao means to wrap. Zi is a noun suffix, so baozi, a wrapped thing. A bun with filling inside, steamed. The filling can be meat, vegetables, red bean paste, custard, dozens of versions. A hand-sized pork bun and a cup of soy milk, that has been many Chinese people's breakfast for 30 years without changing.
Baozi. Are these eaten everywhere in China?
That's the key. No. These three are northern Chinese breakfast. Go south, nobody eats this. Southerners eat rice noodles, shumai, changfen. We taught that one back in EP002. Cantonese people eat dim sum. Shanghai people eat soup dumplings and rice balls. Wuhan people eat hot, dry noodles. Every city has its own breakfast universe.
Different to that level?
Even more dramatic. Let me tell you about a war the Chinese internet fights every single year.
A war?
It's called the Sweet-versus-Salty Tofu Pudding War.
Tofu Pudding War.
Tofu pudding is soft, jelly-like tofu, tofu now. In the north, people eat it for breakfast with soy sauce, savory broth, and chili oil. It's salty. In the south, people eat the same tofu pudding sprinkled with sugar and a spoonful of sugar syrup. It's sweet.
Both sound okay to me.
Not okay to either side. They both think the other is heresy. Northerners say, sweet tofu pudding for breakfast? That's a dessert shop, not a breakfast. Southerners say, salty tofu pudding with soy sauce? That's not breakfast, that's kanji gone wrong. And every single year, this argument trends on Chinese social media. Every year. It never gets resolved, it's never going to.
Chinese people fight online about whether tofu pudding should be sweet or salty.
At least once a year. And this is the most important thing to remember about this episode. China is not one country with one taste. China is 1.4 billion mouths in a taste war. Tofu pudding is just one example. There's the sweet versus salty Zongzi War, the mooncake war, the Tang Yuan War. Every traditional Chinese food has a north-south version, and every year the country fights about it again. 7 a.m. China. That's breakfast stalls steaming, workers running for the subway with a hot pork bun in their hand.
8 a.m. The third wave hits. Every worker in the city pours into the subway entrances at the same time. This is the most special hour in that Chinese city. 早高峰.
早高峰.
早高峰. 早 means morning. 高峰 means peak. We taught 高峰 back in EP001. So 早高峰, morning peak, morning rush hour. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for 1 hour. The entire city's subway, roads, and elevators are over capacity.
早高峰. Same as New York rush hour?
Not the same, way more dramatic. Let me describe a real scene. Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, any megacity subway station. 8:15 a.m. The platform is solid black with people, body against body. A train pulls in. The doors open. You'd think people would line up, right?
They should, right?
They don't. Everyone pushes in at the same time. We taught the word Ji in EP001. That episode was the regular version. 早高峰 is the maximum version of Ji. And there's something at Chinese subway stations that foreigners have never seen. It's a job called Tui Shou, pushers.
Pushers?
Staff who stand at the train doors. When there are too many people for the doors to close, the pusher physically pushes people in. Hands on the back of the last person, push, push, push until the door can close.
That's allowed?
It's a job. Tokyo has them too, but Tokyo pushers wear white gloves, move politely, and bow afterward. Chinese pushers don't wear gloves. They don't bow. They just push. And then there's the world outside the subway exit. Stand near a Chinese first-tier city subway exit at 8:30 a.m. Look at the streets. You will see a sight I call the death spiral of shared bikes.
Death spiral?
8 a.m. Every shared bike in the entire city, hundreds of thousands, gets ridden from a subway exit to a nearby office tower. By 9 a.m., the subway exits are empty and the office towers are buried in piles of bikes. At 6 p.m., it reverses. The office towers empty out, the subway exits get buried. Every single day, the entire city's bike fleet does the same tidal motion.
That's coordinated by who?
Nobody. Completely emergent. Nobody organizes it, nobody gives the order, but the whole city is dancing the same dance. That's what Chinese feng actually is. Millions of people all doing the same thing at the same time, but nobody planned it.
9 a.m. The last group arrives. The people who go into the office towers. The word for this is 上班.
上班
上班. 上 means to go up, to go on. Ban means shift, work team. So 上班, literally to go on shift, to go to your work post. Every single Chinese office worker, every morning, the first thought in their head is, what time do I 上班 today?
上班. What time?
Traditional industries, 9 a.m. Tech companies, 10 a.m. But they don't get off work until 9 p.m. That's a separate episode. 9 a.m. at a Chinese office tower is the last queuing spectacle of the morning. A 30-floor office tower has 3,000 desks. In the 15 minutes before 9, 3,000 people pour in from the underground parking or the subway exit, and they all need to take an elevator to their floor.
How do they do it?
The elevator queue stretches out the lobby door, sorted by floor zone. Floors 1 to 15, one queue. 16 to 25, another queue. 26 to 30, a third queue. Each queue has dozens of people.
A queue for elevators?
A queue for elevators. And every single person is holding the same thing.
What thing?
A cup of Luckin coffee, the 9 yuan 90 kind. This is the last ritual of a young Chinese person's morning before squeezing into the elevator, scan the QR code, buy a cheap coffee. The whole tower, every morning at 9, holding the same blue paper cup.
I haven't tried Luckin yet.
That's the next episode. We'll save it. 9 a.m. on the dot, the elevator hits the top floor. Face scan at the company entrance, sit at your desk, open your laptop. The morning of a Chinese white-collar worker officially begins. But the grandpa who got up at 5 doing Tai Chi, he has already done his morning exercise, bought groceries, cooked lunch, eaten lunch, and is about to take a nap.
That's morning in a Chinese city. 5 a.m. belongs to Tai Chi, the whip, and the breakfast vendors. 7 a.m. belongs to Doujiang, Yo Qiao, and the great Sweet-versus-Salty Tofu Pudding War on Chinese social media. 8 a.m. belongs to subway pushers and the death spiral of shared bikes. 9 a.m. belongs to elevator queues and Luckin coffee. Same city, 4 time zones. A person who wakes up at 9 and a person who wakes up at 5. They live in the same city, but they are basically in 2 different countries. That's what is special about a Chinese city. It isn't one morning, it's several mornings, stacked on top of each other. 7 words for today. Zao Qi, Tai Chi, Doujiang, You Qiao, Baozi, Zao Gao Feng, Shang Ban. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.